Yeah. Okay, share content. PowerPoint. Right, here we are. Right, so if we sort of discuss everything, and then I'm not going to write anything down, you can just add to your existing notes, okay? Right, so do we have any suggestions for narrow lumen in arteries as opposed to wide lumen in veins? What is all this about? So can I start? Jess, do you want to start us off? So what ideas did the team put forward? Hello? Are you there? Let me see if I haven't accidentally switched off the sound. That happens sometimes. No, I think it's on. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, all right.
Although the only problem is I didn't actually write it down and I actually forgot.
Oh. Right, so somebody else will need to chip in from the team's side of the divide.
Is it to do with blood pressure?
Right, it's to do with blood pressure, but like, can we sort of expand on that thought? So where do you have higher blood pressure, in arteries or in veins?
In your arteries.
Right, why is that?
Because the artery lumen's smaller, so there's more, it's being forced through the smallest veins.
Right, right. Why do you need high pressure in the arteries?
Because it comes from the heart and it's got to pump around the body.
Right, exactly. So you need that blood to travel fair distance, right? So you need for it to go all the way from, let's say, you know, your heart to your big toe, right? And your little finger and your brain and your liver. So it's got to be under high pressure. Now, what sometimes people don't quite get is why do we need narrow lumen to maintain that pressure? Can somebody sort of try to explain that point? No.
Because it's thinner, it requires less. It will maintain the pressure because it's got less area to push through.
Yeah, essentially, right? So let me give you an analogy. Let's say you were trying to you're trying to water your garden, and you had a hose pipe, and you need to take that water all the way, I don't know, to water plants right at the bottom of your garden somewhere. If I had a tube which is really massive in diameter, and I attached it to my tap, what I would end up with is the water just literally trickling down really slowly. If I have a hose pipe which is fairly narrow, that helps to maintain that pressure over a longer distance, so it's still coming out, like whooshing out at the end of that hose pipe. Can you sort of visualize that? Yeah. So same kind of thing goes for artery versus vein. So the narrow lumen you have, the longer that pressure is going to be maintained. So you're sending that blood further through that narrow tube. Okay, good. Do we need high pressure in the veins?
Not really.
No. So that blood can be just slowly moving back towards your heart. So you don't have high pressure, so there's no need for the narrow lumen as a result. Right, now over to the class. Smooth lining, did you have any suggestions for that? Why do we have smooth lining?
Because it helps it contract and relax.
Well, you say smooth lining is not going to be anything to do with contraction, relaxation. It's literally smooth surface. You're making good point, but it's not to do directly with smooth lining.
Is it like efficient blood flow?
Okay, so what are you reducing if it's smooth surface? Friction, exactly. You're reducing friction, right? Imagine if you're trying to that water, that blood is moving across smooth, slick surface as opposed to something bumpy and lumpy, right? And that's what could happen, that those lumps and bumps, that's what could happen in atherosclerosis, where you do start to have deposits on the walls of arteries, and that's going to slow down, potentially be like an obstruction on that in the way of blood flow. Okay, right. Now, then the next layer, so we're still going to be with class here, elastic fibers. Now, Nikita, you were suggesting something, but that was more relevant to elastic fibers. So why do we have lots of elastic fibers in arteries and then fewer in veins? What does that do?
We were saying something about because it's going to high functioning organs, so they've. I don't know.
Okay, so go on. You already said that, Nikita, just a bit louder so teams can hear it.
It contracts and relaxes to help maintain blood pressure and blood flow.
Right, okay. And then, right, and similar idea is going to apply to muscles as well, right? So muscles able to contract and relax, right? And what, let's think about what is elastic? What is elasticity? What's the property of something which is elastic? It stretches, and then what does it do? And then it coils back to original shape. Think about that, right? Like if you have a elastic band, the whole point of having elastic rubber band is that you can stretch it, but then it tries to get back to original shape. If it's something that can stretch but stays in that stretch position, that's not elastic, right? So you need something which can stretch and then recoil again. And why do you need more of this stuff, of that elastic stuff, in artery as opposed to veins? Well, vasodilation, vasoconstriction, that's true, but for mostly arterioles. You remember that's where we had shunt vessels, so not necessarily arteries. Think where, teams, you might want to help us a little bit. Because we're a little bit stuck here. So why do you have more elastic fibers?
Is it due to pressure? So because there's more blood going through, so it needs to be able to stretch, I guess.
Okay, yeah, but it's not just, don't forget, elasticity means we're not just needing to stretch, we're needing to recoil back. So why do you have this series of stretches and recoils?
Is it from the heart pumping blood?
Exactly, right? Where is the arteries? They're connected to the heart, right? And what's your heart doing? It's squeezing and then it's relaxing. It's squeezing and then it's relaxing, right? So if it was just high pressure all the time, you didn't really need to have anything elastic. You could just maintain that pressure. But the truth of the matter is, because of your heart pumping, you're constantly having peaks and then drops of pressure. And that's why you need that elasticity in your arteries. Does that make sense to you? Can you follow that? Can you picture it, visualize it in your mind's eye? How those arteries are going to be stretching when the heart is squeezing blood out and then recoiling back to smaller shape, small diameter when heart is resting, when heart is not resting rather, but relaxing. Okay, good. Now, can you see that we don't really need thick elastic layer in the veins? Because how far are we from the heart here? Far, right? We're far, right? Does the fact that heart beats, does that affect the blood pressure in veins? No, not really. It's just blood is at this point is just oozing back towards the heart. It's not really being affected by the drops and increases in blood pressure due to heart pumping, right? So there's no need for a lot of that those elastic fibers to be found in your vein. Okay. So now over to the teams again. So why do I need thick muscular layer in artery as opposed to thin muscular layer in the vein? What suggestions did you have?
Well, we spoke about it and we said that obviously the artery is a much more important thing because it's coming straight from the heart, so it's more of a protective layer of the artery. And then obviously in a vein, your veins can actually collapse, but it's not a major thing as to if an artery collapsed, sort of thing.
Okay.
It's
So basically, so you're talking about the fact that essentially that thick musculate provides protection, so you end up with thicker wall overall.
Yeah, to keep
That's
the artery
the summary.
protected.
Okay, yeah. Again, to do with blood pressure and drops and, you know, peaks and troughs and blood pressure. Okay, good.
Does it also hold its mean it holds its structure better?
Exactly right. Holds its structure better, yeah. And again, Nikita, you had the same kind of point, which is to do with the fact that they need to stretch and then recoil back. So again, that's what muscles are able to do, right? They can contract and relax. So because they're able to contract and relax, did anybody make that point? That actually you also can, as arteries are going further and further away from the heart, you can also use that muscle inside the artery to actually propel blood a bit further by contracting. So it's not just the heart itself which is pushing the blood through the arteries, but arteries also can be helping the heart by contracting and relaxing. Okay, good. So you see, everything we're saying, I hope you can see that it's all sort of, we're just using a bit of common sense, right? We're not really looking at Boyle and Senior, we're just using our own brains, yeah? And that's what you can do certainly in biology, because a lot of it is just engineering solutions, DIY solutions, if you like, right? You need that. How do I do that? And that's how nature evolved this structure. So you needed to do a particular job. Therefore, what? How do we need to put it together to make sure that that job is done? Okay. So still with teams, what were your ideas for tough connective tissue? What is that doing?
Is it like the respiratory system where it provides flexibility to an extent?
Well, yeah, I suppose you can say you might need a bit of flexibility in case of arteries, right? I mean, I suppose if they're expanding and recoiling, but I can't see why the word flexibility would be applicable to veins. Or you think about flexibility in terms of them sort of bending.
Yeah, so like when you're moving, so when your body moves, it's not just all big straight hard line.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I haven't thought about it that way, but yeah, I can't see why not.
Is it for protection as well?
And also protection. I think the more straightforward answer, more obvious one is just, well, just protection, isn't it?
What was that one?
The first one or the second one?
Yes.
Just protection, right? You need those walls of both arteries and veins to be tough. And if you're looking at the actual heart, I don't know if I will try to make it happen. Usually we would do heart dissections. I don't think it was going to work this time, but maybe I'll try to at least bring you a heart to have a look at, like the same way as we did with lungs. And if you just touch the walls of artery, like aorta, right? Because sometimes hearts have got a bit of aorta sort of sticking up. It's incredibly tough. I mean, there's no way you can break it with your fingers, right? And even with scalpel, you really had to hack at it to be able to cut through it. And why is that? Because it requires a lot of protection, right? Yeah. The last thing you want is a breakage in one of those major blood vessels, because that could be the end of your life, right? If that wall is broken for whatever reason, you can bleed internally, and you know that could be a loss of life, right? So one of the things they check during trauma is that person bleeding internally. That's one of the key sort of things to check, because that could very quickly means that this person is going to deteriorate and potentially die. Right? All right, good. So back then to class, let's talk about valves. Why do we need valves in veins? Okay, Steph, you had a suggestion. Go on.
They take blood back up to the heart.
Right.
They need the valves to stop the blood from falling back down. So
Exactly.
defying gravity, if you like.
Right. Exactly. So you need those valves, right, so that the blood is going to get up, right, towards your heart, but then when it's flowing down, it sort of closes those valves, so it's not able to backflow. Okay, so you only find valves in veins. You do not find them in any other blood vessels. So you don't find them in arteries, you don't find them in arterioles or capillaries or venules, just veins. Okay, and then back to teams. Can somebody talk me through the structure of capillary? I hope we've done it enough in assignment 1, right? But can we sort of put it together in 1 or 2 sentences?
We decided that they were use of squamous cells so that it was a quicker diffusion pathway.
Yeah. Okay,
It's a single cell layer, so it's easier for the diffusion to pass.
Yeah. Right. So squamous cells, short diffusion pathway. Also, another feature which nobody mentioned so far, unless I misheard you. Anything else you notice about the cells? So they're squamous cells, and they also what? Yeah, but and also what? Come on. Something else which gives you short diffusion pathway.
One layer.
One layer of cells, right? A single layer of those squamous cells, not multiple layers like you have in veins or arteries or arterioles, etc. So as thin as it gets. Can't get any thinner. Oh, damn, forgot something in the office. Not mine. To go back. Yeah. Is that okay? Yep. So the next few slides, I'm not going to show them to you. It's up to you. If you want to, then in your own time, have a quick look. So there are some micrographs, diagrams, there is more information, etc., etc. Now, don't forget to make sure you include information about arterioles in your assignment. So because a lot of people, they just look at the diagrams we've drawn and they just talk about artery, vein, and capillary and completely blank out arterioles. So with arterioles, what can we be talking about? Steph, you already kind of said it early on. No, I can't remember. Well, exactly, vasodilation, vasoconstriction, right? So shunt vessels are examples of arterioles. So that information you included in your homeostasis assignment, you can easily transfer it into this assignment, right? As an example of function of arterioles. Okay. Okay, look. So well done, everybody, teams and class. So I've got one more question for everybody. No shouting out the answers. Okay, we're thinking first of all in our own heads, and then we're gonna discuss the answer. So here's my question to everybody. Let me move it, make it a bit bigger. So question 1. I'll write it down in a minute. Let me just try to formulate it first. Veins which bring blood from your brain towards your heart, right? So from your brain, do these veins have valves? Yes or no? And if yes, why? If no, why? So basically justify your yes or no. So no Googling it, by the way, right? We're just thinking about it logically, right? So let me write it down. So do veins that take blood away from your brain have valves? Hope that's clear, yeah? So can we all sort of have a little think to ourselves and try to write down your thoughts, okay? So what do you think the answer is? Is it a yes? Is it a no? And can we justify the answer? What did I do with my phone?
Yeah.
Right, okay, so now I'd like teams to start posting yes and no. Let's have a bit of a voting. Let's see how many people are saying yes, how many people are saying no. We seem to have really different opinions, so they're like literally half and half.
Really?
On the yeah? Yep,
No way.
yep.
We all think the same.
Yeah, because I thought about
Right, okay, so let's see. So what about the class? What's the consensus? So let's usually you say if we are all if we're all in class, I usually just have a vote, you know, just everybody just lift their hands and see how many people are for yes and for no. Right, okay, so you're all saying no.
Yeah.
And then on Teams, we seem to have like a 50-50 split.
But I thought that gravity.
Right, so can you justify to me why, I wonder if somebody can justify yes. Let me see who was voting for yes. Just pick somebody. Okay, so Emily is saying yes, valves will direct the blood from brain to the heart and prevent it filtering elsewhere. Okay, right. A few other people, Caitlin and Alfie are saying yes as well. Alfie, can you justify it to me? What's your line of thought?
I'm guessing it's just because of the low pressure. I'm still just going to say because it's low pressure, it might
Yeah.
still go back.
Right, so you still, because of low pressure, you still sort of need a way of
Going back.
moving it towards the heart. Okay, so guys, then those of you who are saying no, so all of you in class are saying no, can you justify to me why no?
I thought gravity's already open anyway.
Right, okay, so why do you have valves? Yeah, so if you think about why do we have valves in the first place in veins?
Stop it going back up.
To stop it going, not back up,
Oh,
stop it going down.
oh yeah.
And the reason why it's trying to go down is because of gravity.
Yeah.
Now, in which direction is gravity working? If I'm moving from brain towards my heart, it's helping me. So there's no need to have valves between your brain and your heart. So the correct answer is no. You do not have valves in the veins which are taking draining blood from your brain. Now, what that means in turn is if we have Tom Cruise and we're going to capture, and baddies are going to capture Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible, whatever number it might be, right? And they're going to tie him down and they're going to dangle him by his feet and leave him. What's going to happen to Tom Cruise? Yeah. So what happens then? Right, so you're going to start seeing stars, and then if we leave him long enough, what's going to happen to him? He's going to lose consciousness, and if we keep holding him there, then what's going to happen ultimately? He's going to die. He is going to die because you're not allowing that blood to drain away from his brain, right? And that is why. Whereas the bats, for example, right, for evolution, they do have valves, right? So therefore, they have no issue about being dangled upside down, whereas humans do, right? So that's why it's not a good idea to have your head below your heart. right? Unless you're trying to increase the blood flow to your brain because somebody lost consciousness because of low blood pressure, then it's a good idea for a short period of time to allow their head to be below their heart. But under normal circumstances, that's not necessarily a good idea. That's why we're using pillows, right? We all feel comfortable sleeping on a pillow, right? Nice and soft, while also keeping your head just that little bit above your heart, right? Allowing that blood to drain back. Okay, so I hope that made sense. Good. So next thing then, so as I said, I'm not going to sort of look at this in detail. Oh, one thing which I did want to show you is what is causing blood to move from your feet towards your heart, right? Because we said, well, gravity is moving it down, trying to move it down. So what is moving it up? Does anybody know the answer to that one? Teams or class? Doesn't matter. Whoever's got an idea.
Is it like a squeeze?
It's what?
Like a squeezing pumping motion.
A squeeze of what?
The vein.
Muscles. Okay, muscles where? Which muscles? Yep, look, exactly that, right? So what essentially is happening is that what is pushing blood higher is the work of skeletal muscles. So anytime you're moving, and that's why it's important to move around, once in a while, stand up, stretch your legs, right? Otherwise you start to have, excess fluid start pooling in your feet. Think about when you're sitting on a long flight, and if you're not moving at all, you start to feel a bit funny, right? So you would kind of at least, do something, wriggle your feet, move your toes a little bit, right? Because that gives you that a little bit of muscle action, which is going to be pushing blood upwards towards your heart. Okay, donc. Right, so now I hope this is gonna work. I'm gonna post this on Teams, so copy, so you'll have to go into the chat function. If you're on Teams, where is chat? Damn it, there. Okay, paste. I don't know why it's so enormous. Why is it so enormous? I don't know. Right, I want to click on that. Guys, in class, if you have your laptop in front of you, you can do the same. If not, I'll have to nip to the classroom because I have a paper version of this, okay? So copy and paste. So essentially it's a breathing, it's a sorting exercise, which I wanted to have a go at. Okay, so that's the view you should have. And then there should be a function which allows you to do, we'll do 3 columns like this, yeah? So if you click here, like in this bit, the default function is this white for each, but you need 3 columns, okay? Can you do that?
I can't get on.
So I'll go and, as I said, I'll pick the paper version for those in class. Okay, and then essentially you've got 3 lots of things to sort. So it's arteries, veins, and capillaries, and then the rest of terms should end up in one of those 3 columns. Okay, or phrases or facts. You on? Guys, all people on Teams, does that work for everybody?
You've got to keep trying. Oh, no, it's flying. I can't find it. It wasn't, but it was on that. Is it not connected? Enron? Yeah. It's not connected. Why is it not connected?
Right, can somebody sort of alert me on Teams? Is it working for people?
Yeah, working.
Yeah, it's working. Okay, perfect. Right, you can discuss it if you want. Normally I would get people to do it in small teams, yeah? So I'm gonna kind of close my ears and maybe even go to the staff room for 5 minutes, so feel free to kind of have a chat between yourselves, okay? And guys, you also help people, yeah? I'll literally gonna go then for about 10 minutes, so
Did you
I'll
say
do
you've got
it.
it printed out?
Yeah, and then I'll go and
Thank you.
get the printed version.
Mine, it's saying it's connected, but not really. I can't get what's happening.
You can use this and do it together as well.
Oh yeah, we'll just, you can see all the facts, you can read them from here, and we'll just help Steph to put them into groups.
My knees are in it. You know, 'cause I've been spinning. I'm going to bed on my own. Trouble is, there's a massive industrial unit. So, I can't listen thinking I can hear people. Ooh, why is my working there? It's very early. So, this lab's just as complicated, isn't it? Woohoo!
I can't see what she's called then.
Oh, she's amazing. Could be made of all our very painful.
Okay, so I can do this then. I'm going to make it into 3.
Oh, she said that, yeah. Is it that bit on there?
Where? That.
Yeah. And then,
Oh, yeah.
column, 3 column.
If she knows.
And then, oh, that's hilarious.
Where should I put?
That could be the result.
Really hard not having a mouse, I think. Cameras are good at a very low pressure thing, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah. That's just like. So we said it on here.
Oh, yeah, it's furthest away from the heart. Yeah. Oh, no, you've got your little things on. She needs to be. Got to say you've missed loads. You're like.
I had to do it a couple of days ago.
I do it every night. It's just
I
like.
can't do it, you know, it just frazzles my brain, you know, I'm sat there on my own, like, I'm having to catch up on maths as well, I've just passed some exams and
Oh, maths is awful. I don't help you at all.
I learned how to keep fractions and decimals to bloody things on my own at home this week. Because they're not doing team meetings and half at classes and in.
I've just done my GCSE maths and I'm still doing it.
I've done 2 years in functional skills and GCSE maths and I haven't retained anything.
No, it's all just going to be money.
Yeah,
It's how it explains it though, it just, it didn't, the only thing I've really found with GCSE maths is that it does help with the maths and healthcare thing. That's the only thing I found very helpful. Like, oh, I've got one. The RBC passes through at one time is the capillary. The lumen diameter is very small, one RBC passes through at one time, it's a capillary. Okay.
Is veins no vowels?
No, veins have valves.
Veins have valves, arteries don't have valves.
Because mine don't work.
That's it.
So when I see the veins valve like that, I think, oh my God, they're really sad. You're on now.
I'm not going to get that.
Yeah, that's it. Proteins, capillaries contain valves. Veins lead towards the heart. Oh, I don't know. Capillaries blood at a low pressure. So what did we put? Capillaries blood? Oh, at a very low pressure. Maybe that's that one then. Can you see it?
Yes, it will be. Because of the few.
That's veins there. When this is finished, we'll check it. You can take a picture.
There's the pressure change. Why?
So that's capillaries, isn't it?
Is it?
We did actually have the many. Oh, why did we have it?
She had something in the head. I don't know if it was an artery or
I was like, right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, how does that happen?
I don't know. She's not in the category for anything.
Oh,
She managed to donate. She saved 5 other people because they donated all organs. She was like a really big charity worker and she worked in the nursery and she was always fundraising. Like, just a genuinely really nice person. And she was only 22.
Oh my God. A man's life. Life is cruel. It really is cruel.
Arteries lead away from the heart and veins go towards the heart. So the arteries, I'm guessing they carry the high pressure because that's straight nerve, isn't it?
Oh, friend, did I tell you about that? It got crushed by that skid lorry thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's only recent. He was working out at the gym and he was giving his daughter driving lessons. So he got into the driver's side. He's pulling out of this junction. 1 in a million chance, but they were a tractor with a trailer on it. Turns out that the ball bearing had worn away that much, so as it bounced, it unhinged, pushed him into
What unhinged?
the massive trailer. Probably about a ton's worth of trailer. It just unhinged and then just dived into the car. He was still alive for a bit. He was
Just
still
the
alive.
kitchen trailer and told by she got some system.
It's really safe to
Oh, yeah. I haven't finished out. Most of the skin surface, that's capillaries, isn't it? Not directly connected to the heart, is that veins? Many, I'm guessing that's veins. It comes away to cover very high internal pressure, I'm guessing that's this one. Yeah.
When you take a blood bank, it always collapses whenever I'm having blood tests.
This yeah.
They usually have to go into the brain here to get blood out.
You're joking! Oh my God!
Oh, they don't really like mine, but mine aren't that bad.
No, I went to college, I'm going there, I'm in a bubble, mate. I'm going to college and I'm like, freaking hell. Why?
My partner had to get tested for COVID, he's needed a lot of things.
Do you know what's funny? Someone that used to come to our gym, she didn't come because her husband's positive. And we were like, oh no, and I had to tell like 10 other people. Turns out she was negative anyway. So I'm like, how does that work? And another one, she's had 2 positives and 1 negative. So it's like 1 positive to begin with, then a negative in between, and then just as she went back to work, positive again.
Doing it. And she said her dad's friend, said he registered to go for a test. Never actually went, and he messaged him and said,
Oh yeah, I've heard that. Yeah,
didn't do anything. And I went to see my friend Tony from the walk at Thorsby Hall, because that boys were went between, so I went for the walk. She was saying her friend went at 1-1, and she said that Steve, her partner, had received this text message to say he'd been near somebody with this COVID. And she was like, what? So she has to find a word at 1-1, and she said, this is the NHS system. I sent these messages out. She said, you click on it and it takes you down to the countdown page. It's right. If it doesn't, it's an error. And then she said, funny enough, she said, school shut down 2 days after that, 2 weeks after that test. Yeah. I had graduation.
Where I was in work at McDonald's, we had like 10 confirmed cases in the place.
Really?
And you can't put phones to the menu on. The emotional stores actually have no like deep clean. as it was my partner. So as soon as I found out that he lived near someone, I was like, how the hell did you get within 2 weeks? Because I said I used to stay with a friend.
Yeah.
So I'm just come back home after 2 weeks. It's been bliss.
But that's been lovely, tidy and everything, so he left it.
Oh yeah, everything's beautiful. It's so nice. I can eat when I wanted. I won't have to go with. Well, what do you want for your tea? I can eat what I wanted. Oh,
Which
watch
one
my
do you
programs,
work
watch my soaps.
Which one do you work at?
Dublin.
I don't know where that is.
Yeah, it's near me.
It's near Bolsover, like Junction 29A.
Oh, that one near the services?
Yeah.
Is it that one? So
Yeah,
there's
the
a
one
Starbucks
with
and a
the
Starbucks.
and stuff.
I'll come in there just to see you and go, hey.
Where do you go?
Near, McDonald's 29A. So I'm
Oh,
Hollywood.
yes, it- oh, aren't you?
Yeah, there's 29A, Ingersoll, Hollywood. Right there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm miles away from you.
I was going to say, yeah, when you were saying it, you're like other end of town.
I'll have to let you know when the next day meets.
Yeah. I had an argument with someone from there when I was pregnant because she wouldn't give me the McDonald's things. Said that they were running low. Oh, I kicked her out for some. Because I was pregnant and I was like, give me my stickers. I had to get some.
You know what we actually do with the cards? You do realise we get to bring all the free coffee cards home with us, right?
But you can buy them. We bought some online. I've had
I'll
loads.
give you some for free next time. I've got that.
Yeah. I had this friend, they bought them for £8. I said, what are you doing that for? It's more expensive to buy them cards than it is to get free coffees.
You can buy the stickers as well.
Yeah, that's what we bought. We bought the stickers, but we ran out and I think it's
Do you actually check the
December.
dates in the stickers? No, we do not. We don't care. We usually just tell you to go.
No
we
way,
let
I
you
can
do
do
it.
that.
Yeah, we let you do it. Usually come under it, like that. Don't want your card. Just want to know if you want to get free coffee. Free coffee on the way to college this morning. Right, are we ready?
Yeah.
That's some people who check it. Some people are like,
This is a card.
she's like, I'm a free coffee.
Right, okay, so I'm back now. So can we start with class? Can you give me all the facts to do with arteries? Okay. Contain no valves. Okay. Go on. What else?
Leads away from the heart.
Leads away from the heart. Yep.
Carry blood at a high pressure.
Where is it? Yep. Okay. Agreed.
Lumen diameter fairly small.
Lumen diameter very small.
LBCs. Up one.
Up.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Right. Anything else? Was that it?
Wall containing thick muscle layers coated with very high internal pressure.
Okay. Yeah. Let me just move some of this to one
So now
side.
I've only got one more,
Okay. Which is what?
which is mostly deep beneath the skin.
Mostly deep beneath the skin. Okay.
I
Agreed.
think that one's finished.
Is that it?
I think so. Oh,
Uh-huh.
that's
Okay.
what I remember.
I've got everything, guys, on Teams. Can you just help us now? Is there anything we missed? Hello? Silence.
I can't see your screen.
Oh, you can't see my screen. I wonder why. Oh, because you're on your own screen. Uh-huh. Right. Okay. Well, did you hear what we were saying though?
Yeah.
For arteries, right? So no valves, lead away from the heart, high pressure, 120 millimeters Hg, which is, does anybody know what Ag is? I need to think of the term now because I've got Russian now for some reason.
Use Google Translate.
Use Google Translate. Why? For what? For Hg. I'm just wondering if anybody knows what that is. Millimeters Hg. Mm. So mm is millimeters. No, it's not actually. It is. Nope. Nobody knows. It comes from periodic table. It's one of the elements in periodic table.
Hydrogen.
Not
Is it-
hydrogen.
Helium. No.
No, not helium.
Mercury.
It's mercury,
Oh.
which in Latin is hydrargium. I do not know how you pronounce it. Sorry, it's my Russian kicking in. Because when I was in Russian school, we had to memorize all Latin names of all elements. Even if you didn't do chemistry, just like that. That was the.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I still remember most. No problem. And that's why they used to use mercury in the old-fashioned blood pressure monitors. So you had mercury, like a little tube filled with mercury. So you essentially were measuring pressure depending on how many centimeters of mercury you had in this kind of standard tube of glass. That's where that comes from. Anyway, sorry, I got sidetracked a little bit. So lumen diameter is fairly small. Wall contains thick muscle and mostly deep beneath the skin.
Would the walls are very thick and contain 4 layers not be on that one as well?
Right, yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, so there's one we missed out. Well done, well spotted. Okay, guys, so we need spokesperson again from Teams to talk us through veins. Anybody volunteers? Otherwise, I'll just nominate somebody. Stony silence. Okay, I'm coming for you then. Big bad wolf. Right, can I have then, Caitlin, do you want to talk us through veins? What should we put there?
For which one, sorry?
Veins.
Do they contain valves to stop the backflow?
Okay, let me find this one. Yep, got it.
Do they lead towards the heart?
Lead towards the heart. Yep, got it.
Is the wall no?
Mm-hmm.
Walls can burst under pressure. I can get my words out. Walls can burst under pressure changes.
No.
Or is that capillaries? That's capillaries, isn't it?
Right, so don't forget veins have this tough connective tissue, don't they? They contain all these layers, so they should not burst. If they could burst under pressure, we would be in trouble. A lot of blood would have flowed out internally. It's not that one. What else did you have for veins?
Are they mostly deep beneath the skin?
No, that was arteries. Okay, maybe we need somebody else as well to help if anybody else wants to chip in. So it's not just Caitlin laboring on her own.
I've got it carries blood at low pressure, 10 to 20 millimeters per Hg.
Okay, good.
I've got contained valves to stop backflow.
Yep.
Wall thin because pressure is low.
Okay, walls are thin and contain 4 layers. Is that the one?
I've got that, but then there's another one, that wall thin one, but I don't know whether or not to put that into capillaries as well. And then I've got lumen diameter, very large, many RBCs flow at one.
Okay, good. Perfect. There is one more we seem to be missing. Okay, so walls thin because pressure is low. Well, let's put it in veins for now. I mean, that I wouldn't disagree with that. Anything else we're missing? No?
Is it fan throughout all tissue? Or would that be capillary?
No, you see, that would be better suited for capillaries. But there is one more statement. Can you see right here? Mostly under the surface of the skin. That actually represents the statement for the veins. whereas capillaries are going to found throughout the tissue, but veins are mostly close to the surface of the skin. That's why when they're taking blood sample from you, they're aiming for a vein, right? Because it's easier to get to it, okay? Because it's, and something like varicose veins, yeah, because they're so close to the surface, if they start bulging out, you can actually see them without, you know, clearly underneath you. Right, and that leaves us with just capillaries, so I'm going to summarize here. So carries blood at very low pressures, it's 1 to 2. Some people get confused and put very low pressure for veins, and actually very low pressures in the capillaries. Why is that? Because capillaries are so tiny that the blood flow slows right down. Whereas when you start adding all the bits of blood from all the capillaries together, the pressure starts to build up slightly. So it's a bit higher in the vein compared to capillary. Made from one layer of epithelial cells, not directly connected to the heart. Lumen diameter is very small, 1 red blood cells passes through at a time. Walls can burst under pressure, contains no valves. Well, actually that could belong to, yeah, is there 2 of them? Oh, okay, perfect. So in that case, that goes there. And found throughout the tissue. So that sorts out all the statements. So guys, if you're on Teams, if you want to go back to the team meeting, to the shared screen, then you can see the summary of the correct answer, just to double check that you've got it right on yours. Okay.
Whereabouts is our Teams?
Well, where it is on what's on Teams? That. Well, you would need to join the team meeting in order to see it. All right, but you could go ahead and join it if you want to. But I mean, you've got it in front of you here on the board.
Picture of this.
Right. Okay. Fine. So I'm gonna go back to my PowerPoint then. Current slide. Right. So one more task. Huh? So here I've got a diagram. So here I've got pressure, right? You can see it's increasing from 0 towards 120. And then the letters represent blood vessels. So A, B, C, D, and E are these terms at the bottom of the screen, right? So I'd like you all, again, no shouting out or starting to share answers straight away. Let's all have a go at thinking about it independently first. So can you try to put all blood vessels according to the letters on the diagram? So in essence, it's asking you which one's got the highest pressure, slightly low pressure, middle of the road, even lower, and the lowest. Okay, can you put it in that order? Can
Sorry,
everybody
Mary,
on
I
Teams
just had
can see it?
sorry, I can't see anything. But I've just had a phone call, so I don't know what's going on. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine. Do you want to leave the meeting and then join back and see if that sorts it out? Can everybody else on Teams see it? See the shared screen and the slide? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So it could be, Rebecca, it could be just, was it Rebecca talking to me just now?
Yeah, I'll just leave and come join back in then.
Yeah, to try that and see if that sorts it out. Okay.
Yeah, that's better. Thank you.
Okay, no worries. Right, are you ready to start going through the answers? Yeah, so this time, how about if I try to get teams involved a bit more? So I'm going to direct most of the questions at you guys. So can I have, I can't see the list of people, but I'm asking people who are still on Teams from this morning. Reagan, which one is A? Can you hear me? So I can't see who is on there, who isn't. Terribly helpful. No, I can't see it on here. Okay, I'll try somebody else then.
Maria, she's answered in chat.
Oh, she's answered in chat. Oh, okay, sorry. You see, too many screens, too many buttons. Let me see. Heart. Which one? Hold on. Oh, artery closest to the heart. Artery closest to the heart. Yes, sold. Yeah. Everybody agrees with A, being artery closest to the heart. Cool. Right, somebody else then. Yeah, so I'm now got chat open, so if it's best for you to just type in the answer, please go for it. Can we try Amber? Oh, somebody's got a microphone on. Is that you? Oh, naughty. Don't know if Amber is around. B, hello, please. Okay, can't hear and can't see any answers, so I'm going to move on to the next person. Angel, can I try Angel for B?
Would it be the vein closest to the heart?
No, not quite. Where do you think? So if you've got, if your highest pressure is in the artery closest to the heart, what's going to be the next highest?
Would it be the further away from the heart artery?
Which one?
The artery that's further away from the heart.
Exactly right. Artery further away from the heart. That's correct. Okay, then let me try somebody else. Jordan, C.
I think she's just nipped it low.
So that's the thing about teams, and they just never know who is still there, who isn't. Right, so let me try with somebody else. Can I try then? Emily.
I've put C, arterial.
Arterial, correct? Good. And then let me try somebody else. Stacy, D. Let's see what happens.
Does she, is that Stacey Palmer?
Yeah.
Does she put it in chat?
Oh yeah, she does. Stacey, you're saying capillary? Not quite, I'm afraid. Right. If you think about our activity, sorting activity, was it veins or capillaries which had the lowest possible pressure? Capillaries, right? So therefore, the answer, well, I'm not going to ask anybody else because it's obvious by now, right? So then D is vein closest to the heart, and it's the last one, the lowest pressure is going to be in the capillary. So if you got every single one correct, really, really well done. So this is the kind of question you would get in the A-level exam paper, okay? So well done, everybody, if you answered those questions correctly. Okay. Right, so let me to this PowerPoint and show. Okay, so in the wrong place. So let me just quickly show you the assignment brief, so we're just clear where we are at the minute. So what we've covered today is that, okay, question 1, describe structure of arteries, veins, arterioles and capillaries and relate this to their function. So please include diagram. If you need to include, you know, you can include kind of cartoon type diagrams, or either the ones you drew yourselves or the ones online. Would be nice if you also included like a, you know, micrographs where you can see the actual structure the way you would see it under the microscope. That could be a nice thing to do as well. And make sure you make that connections between all the layers and the function of each layer. Okay, so far, look, and we also covered transport of carbon dioxide in blood. So in essence, we've now covered questions 1 to 4. So that's where we are. So we've done all the import for questions 1 to 4. So my suggestion would be, I know you've got other stuff going on, obviously, right, other assignments, but because it's a long assignment, my honest suggestion would be to try to do those questions as we're covering input. So try complete them as close to the input as you possibly can. So while it's all fresh in your memory.
Oh, just finished.
Yep. So you know, go home, do it at the weekend, sit down and do it tonight. Okay. And then you've got that question out of the way. So next week we are starting structure of the heart. So for this session, my issue is the way I teach structure of the heart is I write stuff on the whiteboard. Okay? Because I have specific way of teaching this topic. What I've done is I've recorded video lecture similar to what I did for respiratory system. And I've uploaded it onto VLE. So those of you who are coming in, I'll have to think. I might still teach it as normal. And those of you who are staying on Teams, I'm just going to post links to the videos and tell you guys that's what you need to watch. And these are the questions in the worksheet and the assignment you need to complete. Right? So for next week, we're probably not going to have Teams meeting. It's just going to be just instruction about what needs to be done. Okay? Right? So what's happening this afternoon? So this afternoon, I'm doing essentially, again, I don't think I'm going to set up team meetings because all I'm going to do is do one-to-one calls through Teams or talk to you in person and go through your personal statements. So can I please get as many personal statements as I can, and then I'm gonna start calling people in the same order as you're emailing me your personal statements. Okay, so first to email is gonna be the first to get my phone call. Okay, or first to have a chat about it. Is that okay? Anybody, any questions before I finish this session?
Come in from that group next week.
Okay, so Jess and Rebecca, okay, you've sent yours, that's fine. I'll search it on my emails and I'll call you. The rest of you, I know that a couple of people emailed me earlier this morning, which is fine, but if you emailed it to me a while ago, if if it's not too much trouble, just email it again, because then I have just the one single list. Otherwise I have to, because I get like 20 emails every day, if not more. Sometimes it just gets buried and all these emails. Okay, stop.
Oh, you can't